Welcome to New York. Hello, my name is Rokia, also known as MsQueenRo, and on this channel you will get nothing but life, career, and travel. Welcome to another episode of My Rural Diaries. Although in this episode it's going to kind of be a lifestyle vlog plus travel vlog, I decided that I was going back and forth about it, and I was just deciding, instead of this being like a regular My Rural Diaries where I'm kind of just like talking a lot, I am going to talk. But I also am going to document my travels while I'm here on my birthday week. Yay for me. While here in New York. So I thought that would be a little fun. So you'll get a little bit of every day of what I've done. Yesterday, nothing but a travel day, and arrived in New York. Tropical storm Ophelia has raided over. I think it's gone a little bit down south now, but we still have remnants of it. So yesterday it rained all day. Today it's raining again, so I did not feel like getting out, which was kind of good because I just kind of needed a rest day. I was just telling someone last week that I'm always on a go, 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 and they were just asking, well, are you going to take some time out to rest while you're here in New York? And I was like, I don't know. I have the week planned. I have stuff to do. But I didn't have anything to do today on Monday. 5 more days until my birthday. So I was like, yeah, might as well not do anything today. It's raining. I think it just stopped, and it's now 3:17 in the afternoon. So I've just been chilling, and I'm okay with that. Some days you just have to have a chill day. You don't have to feel like you have to go, go, go on the vacation. Comment below, are you guys a go, go, go kind of person, or are you kind of a chill kind of person when you're on vacation? I'm not a go, 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 but I do like to do stuff. My motto is, why chill? I can do that at home. So if I'm on vacation, I may have a rest day, especially because this vacation is a week long. So I knew I was going to have a rest day. But if it's just like a 3-4 day vacation, I got stuff to do. I wanted to come on today because since today's a chill day and kind of talk about just one topic. Tomorrow I am getting out and about, so stay tuned for that. But I want to get on here and talk about what is actually premiering today. Now, by the time this video comes out, it would have already premiered. It is my first show that I am doing on YouTube. It's in the career segment on my channel. For a while, and a few vlogs ago, I mentioned that I was going to start doing something on the career segment, but I'm going to be honest, I did not know what I was going to do. I knew I wanted to do something, just didn't know what I wanted to do. God gave me an idea on what I should do, which I made sure to make sure he was a part of this new segment that I'm putting in. Check it out if you haven't already. But I wanted to start something that highlighted 9-to-5ers, business people, entrepreneurs, brand, just all kinds of brands, right? Because I am a brand strategist, and I wanted to be able to give back to the community. Well, again, it's already premiered since making this video. It's actually called The Royal Professional, and it's where I bring on a guest and we talk about one topic for no more than 45 minutes. I try to keep it between 25 to 45, depending on the topic. And we talk about something to where we are only there to help you and give free advice. You know, a lot of the advice that you get on some of these YouTube channels, or, you know, a lot of times actually you get free advice, but you can tell they hold back. Well, this is one thing I did not want to happen. I wanted to be able to give free advice, genuine advice, in the way of tips and tricks, whatever the topic is, and just give back to the community to where you don't have to hire me to get your brand up and running, or that you can get career development advice instead of hiring me. Now, don't get me wrong. I do want to be hired, but I've only been giving like tidbits, you know, on my Instagram channel, and not enough information. So anyway, point is, I started this, The Royal Professional, and it is a way to help and support other working professionals, whatever their adventure may be, their working journey may be, whether, again, if they're in a 9-to-5, trying to build a career, get promoted in a career, or maybe they have a side hustle that they want to turn into a full-time hustle. I'm the one that's trying to help these people move up and to move out within the working world. But I didn't want to do it by myself. I think that's the reason why I became stuck, was because I was going through a little bit of imposter syndrome. If you guys don't know what imposter syndrome, matter of fact, let me actually get my phone so I can tell you the definition of imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, or referred to as IS, is a behavioral health phenomenon described as self-doubt of intellect, skills, or accomplishments among high-achieving individuals. Now, I am high-achieving in many ways in one, which has caused me to formulate a form of imposter syndrome. And it's so funny because I talk to my clients about it all the time, because I didn't even know what imposter syndrome was until I actually became a full-time entrepreneur. I think I actually went through this as when I was working in corporate America, but I didn't really know what it was. It wasn't until I heard somebody else say it, and they were just like, well, what's that? What does that mean? And then they explained it to me, and I was like, you know what? I've kind of been feeling that way too as an entrepreneur. I know what to do. I kind of know how to do it, but I'm kind of afraid to do it. And they were just like, yeah, it sounds like you have imposter syndrome. Like, you want to do something because you know it's going to, you think it's going to do well, and you have a feeling it's going to do well, but you're afraid to go through with it because you don't know if it's going to do well, if that makes any sense. And I'm like, yeah, it does. That's how I feel. Well, I talk about this to my clients because a lot of first-time entrepreneurs go through this a lot because they want everything to be perfect. They want everything to just work out. And for the most part, it does. But that's why they hire me, so that I can be their accountability partner and push them along. And I told them it's normal to have imposter syndrome. That only really means that you want to do well, because a lot of first-time entrepreneurs or someone trying to grow a business almost goes through this. I say almost because sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just a little bit of entrepreneurship jitterbugs, but sometimes it is imposter syndrome, and I have to explain to them it's normal. It's normal because you want to do well. And sometimes if I feel like if they don't go through imposter syndrome, then I'm like, they're achieving, or they're just being too much of an overachiever. Which, can anyone be an overachiever? I don't know, maybe. But my point is, it's normal to go through some type of imposter syndrome when you want to do well on the next project or any project. Which brings me to what I was trying to get to start today. The Royal Professional premiered today, and again, if you haven't checked it out, please do, after you watch this video, of course. And it took me, would you guys believe, about a year to do this project. I knew I wanted to do something on camera. I just didn't want to do it by myself. I wanted to have some type of interview style. I always wanted to develop some type of show. And one night, I think, God just revealed something to me a few weeks ago to wait, well, you know what? You kind of did this when you were working in corporate America. Back up a second, origin story coming now. I used to host different inclusive and diversity webinars, and it would be like a group of us on a panel, or I would bring on a panel and we would talk about different topics. But that was like at a large setting, and I say webinar because it was like hundreds of people that joined that webinar. It was all virtual, and I hosted it. So God was like, well, you hosted something that hosted hundreds of people. Why don't you do the same thing, but just do something on a smaller scale? And I was like, okay, God, you're right. Why not think of this before? Imposter syndrome. That's why. I kept wanting to be a perfectionist. I kept wanting to just have like the perfect idea. And God was like, no, it's not about that. It's just about you helping people via YouTube, via the internet, and just putting yourself out there. Just do it. And you bring it on another guest. Instead of you taking on a whole panel, why don't you start with a guest and just do it that way? And I was like, oh, yeah, God. Yeah, you're right. Let me do that. Do you know I put together this thing in like a few days, like less than a week? I was like, why didn't I do this before? Because God wasn't in it. That's why. I wanted to do everything myself and did not want to reverence God, which I do in the episode, by the way. You'll see how I do it. And I just was like afraid to just get started. I don't want to say afraid, more like just nervous, I guess, because it's something new and I don't know. I don't really know what it is, but I do know it was imposter syndrome and it's over. I'm over it. Comment below if you ever had imposter syndrome and how did you get over it? Because I don't think it's something that this behavioral, characteristic will ever go away. Because if you want to do something well, it's always going to linger around. But there are ways you can try to control it and to do better and improve yourself so you don't get stuck in the imposter syndrome entity. All right, enough about that. A lot of things have happened in the past couple of days. Number one, I am talking to you on my new camera setup. Oh my gosh. Welcome, Rokia, to the DSLR Sony Club. I have the Sony ZV-1 Mark II. And she's all white. Like, the whole setup is all white. Even to the light, she's all white. And all mine. She's so cute. Although this is like my first time really using her. And she keeps cutting off. You're not going to notice that because I've edited it out. But she keeps cutting out. Because she's getting hot. So she turns off. So I just found out there's a setting to change that. So if you have a camera like this, you can probably upgrade it one. You can probably change the setting. I just did that. Also, yesterday, what really happened was my baby, my Reagan, she sang backup for the legendary famous gospel artist, Grammy award winning, and I know there's many other awards he's won, Fred Hammond. He was at my church yesterday, and obviously I couldn't go because that was my travel day. So thankfully my church broadcasted live the park. So I am going to leave a link below so that you can check it out yourself, and maybe you want to see virtual church for wherever you are, so you can check that out. But the combined choir had the adults and the children, and they all sang backup for Fred Hammond at my church. I was so disappointed that I couldn't do it because I would have been right there with her jamming. But before the plane took off, I was able to kind of watch a little bit on YouTube, and I saw her. The little girl, this is how you know she was having a good time. She doesn't really dance. Like, I have to tell her, Reagan, don't just stand there in the choir stand and just sing. Dance a little bit, girl. Get out of your comfort zone. Homegirl was dancing on her own. She was jamming on her own. That's how fun. I think I kind of ramped her up because obviously she didn't know who Fred Hammond was until I was like, Reagan, you're singing with a celebrity. So then I went to explain to her a little bit who he was, and I played some of his songs, and then she got excited. So then when it finally came the day of, she was so excited to do it. So proud of her. So that was footage recorded by my parents who took Reagan to church yesterday. And also, they're the ones watching her for the week, Reagan and Sherry Olivia. So shout out to my parents. Thank you. Y'all show your parents love when they become grandparents and they don't mind watching their grandchildren, because there are plenty of aunties, uncles, grandparents that the saying goes, I already raised my kids. I'm not trying to raise yours, or I'm not trying to raise anybody else's. My parents are never like that. They're always so happy to watch the grandkids. My parents drove Saturday night, got to Charlotte about almost midnight just to watch Reagan for the week. Thank you, parents. Love you much. the train. Welcome to Connecticut, New Haven, Connecticut to be exact. I do have a 30-minute walk. Oh, the Amtrak stops at Union Station. It's like the main station here. And don't get it mixed up, because I think there's a West Haven and then there's a New Haven. My stop was in New Haven because it's the closest to downtown New Haven, Connecticut. I have a 30-minute walk to the New Haven Museum. I'm only here for a few hours, which is enough time because, as I've heard, there's nothing really to do here. I'm excited because this is number 30 out of 50. Since I have a 30-minute walk, I thought I would tell you Royals some things to think about when you are traveling Amtrak. Yes. Number one, I would not have, I'm actually going to stop so I can pay attention to my surroundings. Number one, I would not have AirPods or headphones in your ears when you're waiting for the train station at the terminal, because they have live updates that they make, and just in case your train is delayed or canceled, you want to make sure to hear that. Now, yes, there are screens that you can look at, but the live updates actually happen every few minutes, and they're pretty detailed, more than just the screens would give, information they would give. So I would not have anything in your ear, because I was actually glad I didn't, which if you're traveling solo, you probably shouldn't have it in your ear anyway, and that's the reason why I didn't, because I want to know what I was doing. Number two, I would not be on a time schedule if you're traveling Amtrak. We were supposed to arrive at 10:36. It is now 11:09. I don't have a time schedule. I'm just going to go to the museum, get something to eat, and then head back to the Union Station. But in case you do have a time schedule, just take that in consideration, because the train is not always on time. And number three, if you need to use Wi-Fi because you're working or for whatever reason on Amtrak, the Wi-Fi is sketchy. So I tried to download movies, and it pretty much took the whole train ride to download one movie. So take that in consideration as well. All right, I'm going to put this camera up because I'm in a place where I do not know. So I need to listen to the directions, and I need to play it safe. So catch y'all at the museum. It was about a 30-minute walk from Union Station. Welcome to the New Haven Museum. I'm going to spend some time in here. Fun fact before I go in, New Haven, Connecticut is also known for the Ivy League school, Yale University. You're looking at the Russell Henry Chittenden House. Basically, this house was circa in 1880, and it's one of the historic places registered in this area. And it's a famous house for Russell Chittenden, often called the Dean of American Biochemistry. So basically, there's different places in this area that is going to represent Yale University. So that's one. And then going up this street here, I see that there's actually different places branched off for the university. Too much about the museum. For one, every time I'm on a travel vlog and I go to a museum, I'm usually getting content about a museum. Y'all tired of museums. I'm kind of tired of sharing content museum. You know what a museum looks like. But if you want to see a little bit more detail, then make sure you check out the travel vlog for Connecticut to be posted after this video. Good morning, Royals. I had a great time yesterday in Connecticut. Nice little solo trip. Day trip. Had a little trouble with the train on the way back, but I made it. It is now the next day, Thursday, September 28th. Now 2 days before my birthday, and I am about to hit up the Museum of Ice Cream. I have wanted to go there, I don't know for how long. And for those of you who don't know, fun fact, ice cream is my favorite dessert. So I'm looking forward to having fun. It won't be as fun because I can't get people to take pictures of me. That's the whole point. It's like the Museum of Illusions where you kind of pose and get a picture. I'm gonna do the best I can, but whatever. This is some of the things you go through when traveling solo.
Some hot sweat. So on the count of 3, I want a loud scoop scoop. On the count of 3, y'all ready? Scoop scoop. Where y'all from back there? Y'all ready? New Jersey. Okay, Jersey. Okay, Jersey connection. New York City's little brother. I see birthday girl. Y'all ready? Scoop scoop. Where you from?
North Carolina.
Okay, I see you. Pete Davis. Steph Curry. I love Davis.
Good morning, Royals. It is Saturday, but more importantly, countdown finished. It's my birthday. I'll let you guess how old I am. We have a day planned today, so stay tuned. Yesterday, didn't really do anything because New York basically got flooded. I mean, talking about subways, streets, it was flood city. So didn't feel like going out, didn't feel safe going out, and it was raining all day. It's actually gonna rain this morning, but I'm not letting that ruin my birthday. I'm still going out. So stay tuned. I have a day planned just for you and I. I hope we'll be able to see some stuff because it's really, really foggy right now. But you can see her, just Statue of Liberty like right there. Here's the step-by-step through inspection process. They arrive in New York, entering Ellis Island. They go through a medical inspection, then a legal inspection, and then admission into Manhattan. So that concludes this part of this segment for my birthday vlog. There's still a little bit more to come, so stay tuned. I was on my way back, but I have to rest my feet and I'm tired. So I decided to stop at this lovely diner that serves breakfast all day, and I'm in the mood for breakfast on my birthday. Why not? Breakfast for one. Good morning, well, good afternoon. It is Sunday, October the 1st. Come on, where did 2023 go? It's already the 4th quarter of this year. I cannot believe it. But yeah, it's Sunday, also my last full day here in New York City. But don't go away such yet. I'm not in the vlog yet because I have a full day planned. It is finally sunny outside, so I'm not going to spend the day in and waste this day. I'm going to go. I don't really have a plan where I'm going. I'm probably going to hit up like a few boroughs, maybe go back to Brooklyn, hit up Harlem. Okay, Harlem's not a borough. It's the suburb of New York City. But my point is, I may hit up a few places because in Brooklyn, there is this Black-owned restaurant that I have yet to accomplish me going to a Black-owned restaurant. Every solo travel, I try to get to one, and I didn't get to one this week. So hopefully I can get up now because I haven't had breakfast. So my sister's hungry anyway. So I'm going to do that. But before I go, I did wake up with something on my mind. Real quick, Royals, y'all don't know y'all self-worth. Don't let people, things, your atmosphere, your environment have any rule or take precedence of what you are and your value. Just know your self-worth. If that job or that promotion is not coming your way for whatever reason, your boss is not valuing you, then maybe it's time for you to go. Maybe it's time for you to look for another department, look for another industry maybe, or look for somewhere else to go. Don't think you have to stay there and take whatever that boss is giving you or that job is giving you or that company is giving you. You know your self-worth. You know you're worth more. You know you've put in the work. I'm going to need you to go ahead and move forward. I woke up with that on my mind today. I think I have a few more points that I want to make about self-worth, but I'm going to go ahead and get going for now. I'll catch y'all in the streets. Y'all see how it's bright outside? Finally, right? No flooding in the streets. The sun is out. Oh my gosh. Oh, by the way, I did capture a lot of content with the places that I've gone, like the Museum of Ice Cream and the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island. But as I'm editing, it is way too much content to put in this vlog. It would have made it too long. So I decided to make it separate vlogs. So by the time you watch this, it would either be out because I've already edited, or it'll just be coming out. So make sure you catch those vlogs separately because I think you would get some valuable information from those. All right, let me put up this camera. I'm actually about to get on the subway and I'm not having my good camera out on the subway. Found it, Royals. Found the place I'm going to be visiting, more or less eating actually. The Brooklyn Soya. I actually found this place on YouTube, and I told you I was trying to visit a black owned, but this is specifically Nigerian owned. I've had African food before, but this is going to be the first time I've had like an African bowl. So let's see what this place is about.
Veggies.
And avocado.
Spice level. And do you like both sauces?
Yeah.
Extra lamb? That'd be 26.
So it is about a 20-minute wait, and there, as you saw, there is nowhere to sit outside. So you would sit out. There's nowhere to sit inside. You would have to sit outside. That is Toya. She was very, very sweet. She, I told her I saw her on the Tayo YouTube channel, and they were featured, and she was like, okay. So she explained everything to me, what the soya bowl is between that and the classic, and then what kind of spice you wanted, and then she also added some extra plantains for me. So when I go back inside to get my food, we're gonna meet Toya up close and personal. Look at Toya just pack up my stuff so perfectly. Oh my gosh. Hey, say hey, Toya.
Hi, thanks for coming to Brooklyn Soya, all the way from Brooklyn.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
You are welcome. So excited to try this.
You're gonna love it.
So I ordered the spicy Royals. We'll see how spicy this is.
Extra spice.
Extra spice, and then she's putting both sauces on for me.
That's the sweet sauce, the peanut sweet sauce, and there's a peanut aioli sauce.
Oh, yes. Alright, so yay! Before I dig in, here is a close-up. I have the steak medium bowl. Thank God I got medium because this is a lot of food. The difference between the soya and the classic, she said the classic I think has onions and other stuff in it. I don't know, I forgot the difference, but anyway, this is about to be real good right now. So I forgot to tell you what I have inside of the bowl is kale, cucumbers, tomatoes, onions. The meat is, the protein is steak. And there's a peanut sauce on here. I'm not too fond of peanut sauce. I love peanut butter, but not peanut sauce. But she put it on there. I'm gonna try it. And then rice is at the bottom. So excited. Okay, this is so good. Toya, big up to you. You knew what you were talking about. This is so good. It is spicy, so make sure you get the level that you want. Matter of fact, I'm about to go find something to drink right now because that's the only thing I don't have. But it's so great. Worth coming all the way to Brooklyn to come get. If you are ever in the Brooklyn area, make sure you come out to Brooklyn Soya. So very worth it. Toya, just wanted to say it was excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, look, I wasn't too sure about the peanut aioli, but it was good. Yeah, because it's good.
I'm not going to tell you put something on your bowl that is not good.
What I put on my bowl?
No, I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, that's something. Oh, okay, yes. So I put all my trust in you, so totally agree. Thank you so much. Bye.
When you come back to New York, visit us.
I will. All right, Royals, made it to Harlem. Going to visit my second black-owned spot, this time for dessert. It's called Sugar Hill Creamery, but I thought I would give you guys a little bit of scenery before I make it there. See what Harlem's about. Currently walking on Malcolm X Boulevard. Yeah. Typical New Yorkers, loud and fighting. See, Lenox Avenue and Malcolm X, one of the famous intersections. Want to see an old school brownstone? Look at that, isn't that cute? Pretty. Talking about historic. Found it. A little spot. All right, let's go in. Current flavors. I think I'm gonna go with chairperson on the board. So cute. Blueberry cheesecake. I don't know. Hello New World sounds good too. What's that? Cookies and cream? Oh no, cookies and caramel. Excuse me. The unicorn birthday cake. All right, let's stop. Let's just go in. Yeah, I decided to go with chairperson of the board. Sizes. Such a cute setup. Just in case you were wondering, this is delicious. Highly recommended. Going back to the self-worth, if you know someone, if you're with someone, a partner, and they're not valuing your time, prioritizing you, putting you first, that's not knowing your self-worth. Maybe it's time for you to move on. Maybe it's time for you to at least have a conversation with the person. But if you have that conversation, they still really aren't putting you first or prioritizing you, it may be time to move on, because your self-worth is worth way more than that person's treating you. Made it to the end of Harlem, to the Hudson River. It was about a 30-40 minute walk from Sugar Hill Creamery. Came up to 125th, so I walked from 116th to 125th. Just to get to this view. I'm gonna sit out here for a little while. Before I forget, if this video entertained you in any kind of way or showed you any kind of value, please make sure you press that like button. It definitely help me out. It helps the channel out. The more engagement, the better. And I want to just say thank you so much if you made it this far and watched this whole video. That also helps my audience retention as well. I know I'm being a little technical, but might as well teach you guys some things while you're with me. Thank you so much for joining me on another My Royal Diaries. I really appreciate it. I'm going to let you end with this peaceful view. of the Hudson River, right outside of Harlem.